I am live doing a little, and we have to talk about reflections. Had a long day today, man. Had a lot of things to do today. Got things done. First Sunday, so had to pay respects to the Most High. And you know where I can find those pecans, little sweet pecans?
Sweet pecan.
Yeah, with a little red bag.
Used for cooking or just snacking?
No, little snacks. I think I seen them somewhere over here, but I can't. Let's see. Okay. This one I seen them was here. Here we go. I'm sorry.
You found it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ed Ellaby, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. It's time to talk about the reflections briefly. You know, I was thinking I could kill two birds with one stone, but I'm already almost finished with all the other stuff. Fuck it. There we go. Cool. All right. Here we go. We are live. Let's talk about the fights. Okay. I will go live tomorrow as well, but this is just for a sneak preview of what's to come. We will recap further tomorrow, but we got to talk about it right now. Canelo versus Skull is exactly what it was supposed to be. Nothing, because it didn't do anything. Mikhail, you're not watching Inouye fight. Great fight. Yeah, no, I'm not. Inouye is fighting now. Quad life. Inouye, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters. He's in Japan. And unfortunately, what is he on? Is it on ESPN? Because if it's on ESPN, I can watch it and stream it. Because it'll take me a while to get home. That's the whole thing. So I don't want to promise a live, and I'm not even there. But good news is I found all my equipment. So everything, okay, cool. ESPN, thanks, Mikhail. Appreciate you. Tony Lyons, yo, bro, literally just woke up. It's 4 a.m. Where you going, G? Man, I'm going home.
You doing all right?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Doing good.
So I'm just picking up some groceries, some junk for my pops, you know, pretty much. I got a water down here too. You might just want to scan it. Save your lower back muscles.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And mine too. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Let's see. Inouye isn't fighting a live dog. He isn't? Well, that means Inouye's about to slaughter another victim. That's what that means. Because Inouye doesn't play. Inouye's one of those cats, man. He's like Manny Pacquiao when the heavyweight division went dead. Which, in fact, yeah, you got some of those. Yeah, smart water.
I didn't see it.
It's all good. I was going to remind you. I ain't going to do you like that. Who does Macaulay fight now? He needs to get back in shape like I see Zhang. Well, my question is, what was the reason he wasn't in shape this time? You know, because he's supposed to have a full camp because he didn't have a full camp for Joseph Parker, or is he telling us that he didn't get a full camp because he fought Parker? So if he didn't have a full camp, if he fought Parker, that means he shouldn't have fought Parker. So that means that's another reason why he should not have took the Parker fight. Now, I hope he still has some of that money, you know, because he missed out big. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the fight was a draw, right? The fight was a draw, and therefore, nobody would have been number one IBF. So Derek Chisora, by default, is still the number one IBF. What did you guys think of? Cool.
103.29.
All right. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. So on a serious note, would you rather watch a tree grow or watch a tree grow or a Negro? Okay.
We're playing with you.
Yeah, I see his smart ass.
Yes. Have a go.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. Well, I know enough Negroes, so I'll probably watch a tree grow. How about that? Kurt, do you think putting fights on in the ring takes away... Wait. Do you think putting fights on in like Times Square in the way the fighters get to ring takes the mojo for their fight? Because as Ryan said, he could hear people he knew talking. That means that should help him, and that means he has a problem focusing. No, so I don't. I mean, Ryan Garcia has been in enough films, Jesus. He's been in enough fights to understand the professionalism of it. That comes with the territory. That's like going somewhere where everybody's booing you, and the reason you lost because everybody was booing you. That's stupid. That means you have thin skin. You can't have thin skin in the fight game. You got to be tough. You got to suck it up. Look at Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk is a guy that goes to other people's backyard and gives their fighter an ass whooping. That's what he does. That's what he's always done. He didn't care about people booing him. In fact, it helped him. So no, I don't believe that shit about Ryan Garcia. I'm sorry. Ryan Garcia, you know, it looks bad on him because he looked bad because he was on the juice. And then since he did a bad performance, you know, it looks bad. Now, I'll say this in his defense. He's not the only one that done that. Remember Conor Benn, he came back and he fought, is it Babson? I believe it was. Oh, son of a bitch. Dude. And his performance wasn't all that big either. You know, so keep that in mind. I'm so sick of this thing spinning. There we go. No. Okay, cool. Inouye won by KO. Nice. Big up Inouye. Number 1 pound for pound. Or number 2. However you see it, man. You know? I see it like this. All right, now let me put this in here. Oh, this is zero sugar. I bought this bullshit. Oh my God. I hate zero sugar. Zero sugar doesn't mean zero sugar. I got the wrong thing. And I seen the original taste. Anyway, whatever. Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. All right, let me bring this in here. And lots of people there on their phones and being there just to say they were there. Well, yeah, I mean, I think about the security issue. Like, what if somebody came there shooting? I mean, it's Times Square, bro. Now, I admit, man, you go to New York now, Times Square, a lot of Disney has bought up a lot of that stuff. Times Square, like 42nd Street, that it's not like it used to be. You know, Times Square used to be bad. Manhattan used to be terrible. Used to have hookers and pimps and drug addicts and drug dealers and gangsters, and you had a lot of things right there in New York City. And, you know, you'll see a fight break out like it ain't shit. You know, that's how New York used to be. You know what I mean? But it's not like that no more. So that being said, you know, you don't see a lot of that. You don't see a lot of that stuff, you know? But it did cross my mind. That's Siamese cat. What are you looking at? Okay, let's see. Cool. Cool, all right. I don't know what it is about these cats. Not just Ryan, but so many people have said the whole event was dead. And other fighters said they just couldn't concentrate because of the place the ring was. It's nothing like fighting an arena. Well, Man, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy there because that was an experimental thing. So, you know, I can tell you this, filming in New York is kind of like that when you're dealing with distractions, because it's hard to tell somebody to be quiet when they're not on the payroll. Some cussing drunk guy that's probably high telling you to go F yourself at 3:30 in the morning when you're trying to get a shot done. You know what I mean? Then you got to call New York NYPD to get the guy out. You know, they either arrest the guy. If they send the guy away, he's going to come back cussing. You got to try to call to pump some of you jitterbugs. You know, so, yeah. Oh. This car's a pain in the ass. Let me get some groceries, Kurt. Jay Roos in the building. What's up, man? I hit you up last night. You were in silent mode, so I don't even know if you got it. So I don't know. There we go. And knew he just got dropped literally by a Uber driver. Wait a minute, I thought I knew he knocked somebody out. So I knew he got dropped. Is that what I just heard? ESPN. I thought ESPN was going to the zone. Am I wrong or what? What the hell is this? Okay, my bad. Muévete, gato. Muévete. Oh my God. Hey, look at this. Look, hey guys, look at this cat. Look at this cat here. He's sitting there literally like, hey, somebody please feed me. Look at him. He looks like one of those like wild cats from the Serengeti, don't he? Yeah, I don't know till later. I'll hit you back though. In the second, and knew he won, but there's a lot of hype. Look at this. He's looking for someone to feed him. Like, someone feed me and take me the hell home. Look at this guy. You see me putting those groceries, he gets louder like a little siren. All right. Okay. All right. Cool cat. Take it home. I'm not taking his ass home. Hell no. And I love animals. I'm not taking his ass home though. CJ in the building, counter punch to you. B Fatty, how can I donate? You got to hit the dollar button, and then the dollar button takes you to put in your information, and then you can donate whatever you want. That's how you donate, brother. You should see a little cash sign right there. Nicey Nui Fat. Arizism in the building. What's up, brother? Counter punch to you. You know, I'm like Hakeem. I'm very happy to be here. Yes. I am the king of Zamunda. I will give all that I can. Oh, appreciate it, man. Yeah, donate $400 and let me enjoy my weekend. That'll be great. It'll be a great start off for May. That'll be pretty nice. Just kidding, unless you do it. Usyk made Triple D put out so he can beat Bud to the 3-time undisputed. Yeah, I knew. Alexander Usyk's smart. I know what he did because he knew he was coming back. That's why he called out Daniel Dubois, because he wanted that belt back. He let everybody know he wanted that belt back. I want my belt, Daniel. Thank you for holding it for me, and I want it back. A lot of holes in Inouye's game. He gets hit a lot, no doubt. It's only time till he gets beat. Well, I think when he comes up and moves up in weight, I think that'll be the time. Let's just be real. That'll be the time when he moves up in weight. When he moves up in weight, then that's what it'll be. The undisputed with Usyk. Man, I've been stuck on the side of the road. Car died waiting on tow for 3 hours. So far, unbelievable. CJ, you act like my day was yesterday, bro. Got stuck in the mud yesterday. Forgot all my work stuff in a whole nother city. Had to go back and get it today after church. Had to drive 60 miles to get that. Went to a place called Catfish King, right? Catfish King is known for like their catfish. Obviously Catfish King. But here's the deal. They don't have all you can eat no more. So they don't have all you can eat. So I got there thinking I'm gonna, pig out on some fish, some good catfish, maybe some shrimp, because you can get the shrimp and the catfish, the shrimp and the catfish combo. And man, I thought I was gonna, kill it. And they were like, nah, we don't do that no more. You gotta buy a high-priced ass plate with limited fish. I'm like, hey, that's extra shitty. What do you do? So it is what it is. Okay. Yo, hello, how are you? Hello from Russia. Movex, YOLO, counterpunch to you. Inoue is a dog. Just showed how a star There we go. How a star's supposed to perform. Cool. Vincent Salamatino in the building. Great counterpunch. I haven't seen the fight, so I can't properly tell you what's going on. I haven't seen it. The undisputed with Usyk and Triple D, in my opinion, don't mean nothing new now because Fury and Usyk already done it. So this time it's a watered down version. Do you agree? Tony Lyons, I agree, but at the same time, I don't want to seem like a hater, and I don't want people inboxing me and making me seem like I'm a hater of Daniel Dubois. Because you have to remember something. For you guys over in the UK, which is shit, a lot of you, no one has had a British champion since Lennox Lewis. So a lot of times it was about who it can be the next undisputed champion because we haven't seen one since Lennox Lewis. Now the goal is for the next British champion to be undisputed. Everybody wanted AJ because AJ was already the cash cow. He was already, well known. He was very popular. He was mainstream, and people wanted him to get that shit, but he didn't get that shit because honestly, he wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? He didn't, I don't think he prepared, or I just think, I don't know. He just wasn't good enough. He wasn't better than the fighters that he fought. He could have been 3-time world champion, but he never became undisputed because the opportunity didn't present itself when it should have happened. You know what I mean? And we can blame Wilder for that. We can blame Eddie Hearn for that. We can blame Al Heyman for that. We can blame Shelley Finkel for that. We can blame a lot of people for that. But the facts are that fight didn't happen when it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have either an undisputed heavyweight American or an undisputed heavyweight British champion. That's what you're supposed to have, and we didn't get any of it. So it was a big letdown. And to be fair, I made a lot of money from AJ and Deontay. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful. But for boxing standards, for morality, it was bullshit. So AJ and Wilder, they didn't do what they supposed to have done. Triple D always mentions his dad, never Don Charles. He did once. I have Don Charles. I'm like, whoa, did you say Don Charles, Jay Roos? Nah, man. No, he always thanks his dad. And man, his dad, yeah, he ain't gonna send me no cease and desist like he did he did the knowledge like that. He did the knowledge like that. AJ could have been undisputed, but Fury or Wilder would not fight him. Well, it could have been undisputed with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was just blowing air. And here's the credit to the LDBC. He had to fight him. He either had to fight him or he didn't want to fight AJ. But either way, Tyson Fury's a liar. He's just a big bullshitter. He's always been. Look what he did to Usyk. There's a reason Usyk lost the IBF, fucking around with Tyson Fury, trying to get the undisputed heavyweight championship opportunity, but he needed the WBC. So he was taking the WBC for ransom, and Mauricio Suleiman's crooked snake in the grass ass was allowing it to happen, just like he did with Deontay Wilder in the Dillian White situation. So it was always a bunch of bullshit, though. I have no respect for Mauricio. Mauricio can go, he knows where to go. I'm just going to say that. No hate for Fury, but no, Fury bullshitted everybody. He bullshitted everybody. AJ will get one more shot at the undisputed if he stays long enough. I look at fights like, I used to love football, American football, but American football in the 90s. See, I watched football when Barry Sanders was playing, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, you know what I mean? Guys like that, Joseph Singletary, Ronnie Lott. I used to listen like those classic NFL players from the 90s. That was me. Bo Jackson, Howie Long. Come on. Come on. I used to look, Jerry Rice. That was when I watched football. And I look at, if AJ stays around long enough, and then he gets the opportunity by beating somebody that, really ain't all that dangerous or challenging, yeah, he will come undisputed. What does that mean for his career, though? Compared to someone like Usyk that did it right the first time. See, Barry Sanders could have beat every record you possibly ever could have had. He was that good. But then one day he said, fuck it. Yeah. He just said, bye, peace. And he moved to the UK, moved to England, moved to London. Are you alleging that Triple D Camp put a voodoo spell on AJ? No. But that was said before the fight happened, so it doesn't look good, does it? And people said that he was on that BM. He practiced BM. I've heard, someone's told me that he was on Black Magic. Was he on Black Magic when he was fighting Usyk? Did Black Magic cause him to lose? Think about that. AJ is my guy, but even if he became undisputed, if Triple D beat Usyk, then it would be even more watered down. I can't say it for Triple D and not for AJ. Well, here's the thing. Daniel quit, so at least if Daniel fights and loses, he still showed that I have more balls than I did before. So if he just eats a bunch of punches from Usyk, because Usyk's difficult to fight, though. Usyk's not the guy you think. You get in that ring with him and watch all that irky-jerky, side-to-side, windshield wiping ass movement he gives you, and then with the footwork, and then with the unexpected punches that he's going to catch you with that you don't even see coming. That shit'll give you a headache, okay? That'll give you a bad day, and, Daniel ain't used to that shit. Daniel just wants to punch you up. Pat, 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 pat. Triple D ring walk against AJ had some weird dancing. They were casting spells. Damn. Usyk is too spiritually protected to be affected by BM, while AJ is not. Okay, that makes sense. Because, you look at AJ's kind of all over the place. He's kind of like a world guy instead of like a centered, Christian, like his sister. Janet Joshua. Janet Joshua. That's her name. She's like, hey, I'm holy filled. I'm holy and I'm filled with, with God, and I'm, born again Christian and all that. And, Anthony's like, oh, it's like the same, isn't it? Did you watch the interview on that piece of Morgan show that I said about? Man, I got it yesterday, and what happened, I got off and I went right to sleep. I didn't get up till like 9. Then I did all this ripping and running around. So I got a lot of reviewing to do, but yeah, I do have to look at that, definitely. Yeah, I did get it, Tony. So I'm gonna look at it and counterpunch it. Absolutely. AJ is like a politician. He doesn't want to offend other religions. He needs to get right. Well, I mean, you should say at least like, hey, I'm a part of monotheism, you know what I mean? Something that lets you know that like you're spiritual in effect, you know, even if you say, well, hey, I'm Muslim, alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? Inshallah, you know, something, you know, that's, you know, all the, you know, I don't, you know, because that's just showing, you know, that's, you know, you can chop that up as spiritual. He said, Jose Chavez said, Jesus es solamente un salvador solamente. I heard that, brother. See, but the thing is, though, I don't really get it, you know, with the religion bit, because everybody has, you know, like, Muslims are probably the most dominant. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to a Muslim company. You can't go to a Muslim country and diss, you know, Allah. You can't diss God, bro. Go there if you want to. You will get mauled and killed. The shit's gangster. I gotta give it to them. They gangster. Go to a Muslim place talking about Allah was a homosexual. You will be castrated, sir. They will castrate you and feed you to the pigs that they don't eat, and then say assalamu alaikum. Real talk, bro. So yeah, you can't do that type of shit. You know, it's eye for an eye with them, not turn the other cheek. So nah, no, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, they ain't, man. They don't play. They don't play that, you know. That's why Muhammad Ali's dominant. But let me give you guys a little let me say something real powerful that nobody's actually said, right? If everyone you hear, like you hear guys like, if you guys don't know, you have guys like Geno Jennings and stuff like that, and you know, you have a lot of people that was like, hey, well, you know, if you're not with Christ, you're going to hell. Especially older cats, especially people in that era, you know, older cats, you know, that are at least 65, 70 years old. And you have somebody that says that, but then they'll mention Muhammad Ali like he was some kind of guy. I mean, Muhammad Ali started with the Nation of Islam, okay? Later on, he became a Sunni Muslim. But you never hear about anybody saying that Muhammad Ali's burning in hell right now, do you? You never hear that, do you? I mean, all the things that you hear. Muhammad Ali was the greatest. He was a spiritual man and this, that, and the other. You heard his stories. But, yeah, Geno is hilarious, bro. He is, you know. Am I right, I said? Am I right? So, that's what it is. And, but you never hear about anybody talking about Muhammad Ali going to hell, burning in hell. You know. Yeah, that is true. I mean, in the Quran, it says the Bible is, you know what I mean? You should obey the Bible. So that is true. What people don't understand, if you read the Quran or you read the Bible, you should understand that in the Bible, how many times is Jesus mentioned in the Bible? How many times is Jesus mentioned in the Quran? Like 105 times in the Quran. It's crazy. Yeah, Jay Rose, you know he be tripping. Am I right? Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, Muslims believe. Okay, so yeah, man, you can't go to a Muslim country talking that shit. Go to Turkey talking about if Allah. You won't get a block. Somebody's gonna tear you a new one. More times in the Quran, actually. Absolutely. A lot of people don't know that. But then it's kind of scary though. You start reading both and you're like, oh, I don't know what to believe. You gotta have faith. Baby. Yep, you do. So, but no, guys, the fight between Macaulay, to wrap that up real quick, Macaulay needs to, because he mentioned Parker. I got to do one on Parker because he called out Parker. So I'm doing a video on Parker and how I feel about that. But as far as Efe Ajagba, if I'm Ajagba, I wouldn't want to fight him no more.
it does mean nothing unless they're going to pay a Jogba more money than they're going to pay a McCauley because they knew that he actually won. If they're going to pay this man to fight McCauley again, but pay him more money because he's a prize fighter, okay, I'm cool with that. But if you're just gonna fight this dude for the same amount of bullshit money that you got, I don't even know what they paid Efe Ajagba, but he was the underdog. He was the guy that thought that McCauley was just gonna run over just like he did Jared Anderson, and that didn't happen, no stretch of the imagination. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. It's crazy and it's weird when you have someone like Efe Ajagba that showed obvious improvement, that showed a good chin, that showed a good heart, because McCauley was busting him up at times. Not like he should, because his stamina sucks and he's a fat ass boy and he needs to get on a diet plan. We know that. But guess what? That fat ass boy can still thump. And Efe Ajagba came out of the fire. Efe Ajagba showed, hey, I can box, move, take shots, get it in, and win. But they didn't give him the win. So I'm pissed off about that. 300-pound McCauley. You were 284 when you fought Jared Anderson. He still looked fat then. But at the same time, he was still better in shape. He was quicker. His reflexes were better. You see what I mean? It was only 5 rounds, but he busted Jared up. Jared ain't never tasted nothing like that. But at the same time, Jared ain't fought nobody that big and that accurate. Efe Ajagba was just as tall. He was lean. He was in shape. And people slept on that dude. And when Mark McCauley started talking out of his arrogant ass mouth, I don't have any punching power, man. He don't have any punching power. He can't punch. And he starts saying that, I say, you know what? McCauley, you might get your ass beat. Thunders Productions, man, welcome back, man. I ain't heard from you in a long time. You came in yesterday. Welcome back once again. Counterpunch to you. Robert Jones, I'm glad that Canelo Alvarez stopped running. Okay. Lawrence McCauley just called out Dillian White. Yeah. I got to do a video. Dude, there's so many videos I got to do. I'm doing like 7 tomorrow. You know what I mean? McCauley had more speed versus Anderson, and he looked terrifying. Joey, hi. Vincent Salamatino. Yeah, but that was then. You can't win one fight. You ain't won a fight since. You got knocked out by Joseph Parker. And then McCauley, I don't think, look, Efe Ajagba doesn't owe him shit. He doesn't. I'm sorry. He doesn't owe him anything. Crazy Pickney, 45. Respect. Big up. Dillian White he's so washed. You know, it's crazy how Dillian White was once upon a time the man, the can man, and now he ain't the man. And I don't get it. You know, I'm not high on McCauley. I mean, nobody should be at this point. He has to prove himself. The king of impressions. Yeah. I try, man. There's only 300-pound boxer in the 90s was Bada Bing. Yeah. I remember Bada Bing. I'm so ignorant about this topic. Is this MMA? No, this is boxing. Martin McCauley. You need to look these guys up. Do your research. Then you can be like, oh, okay, Martin McCauley, 300-pound African, and knocked out Jared Anderson and took his O. You know, since then he's been beaten by Joseph Parker, which is a New Zealander that was pretty good, the former WBO champion of the world, and that's that. Then he gets in a shit fight with Efe Ajagba, which is a Nigerian boxer now living in America, that showed him the ropes, that showed him what boxing was, that showed him that he is not as good as he thinks he is, and he needs to push away the plate and stop eating like a fat pig. Sorry, that's what it is. Okay, so that kind of educated you right there. Hopefully that helped. But his hunger has died since. Yeah, well, he's got paid about 3-4 million. Yeah, he's another Andy Ruiz, people. That's why Andy Ruiz McCauley is the man right now that we're looking at. If he goes and has another shit show, he is without a doubt Andy Ruiz. Whereas Andy Ruiz now, he just should fight Andy, because they're both guys that got satisfied with a payday and they lost their hunger. That's what it seems like to me. He can't lose 14 pounds for a camp. That's suspect, bro. I'm sorry, that's suspect. I'm sorry. I did appreciate McCauley at least showed pride and turned it up at the end. Well, he had to, because he knew, because his damn snake in the grass ass trainer, Billy Nelson, told him, hey, you have to do something, because he knew he lost. And he told Efe Ajagba, but you guys see my video about that? I'm surprised that shit ain't 15,000 views now. Look, his Martin McCauley's trainer told him, hey, told Effie Ajagba, hey, I think he won the fight. He told him that. And Effie said, to be honest, your coach said, he thought I won the fight. So, yeah, that looked bad, bro. Failed in all his real tests. Parker Ajagba Hunter. Damn. Vincent Salamatino. Damn. I mean, if you think about it, hey, counterpunch. I mean, hey, that's the unadulterated truth, sir. Huh? The pragmatic truth is exactly what Vincent Salamatino said. Shout out to you, Vincent. I would have fried Billy's ass after that body slam and body slammed him. Jay Roos, I would have too. He should do that right now, because you seen the look that McCauley had when Effie said on fucking Box Nation, shout out to them, that hey, your coach told me that I won. That's crazy. Do you think Canelo is going to be strong after the first few rounds once he breaks Bud down, your bro from NZ? Dave Bayless. No, I think what'll happen with Crawford will box him and fight him. Box him and fight him. I think Canelo Alvarez is not the guy. He's looking for big shots. Now people, even Skull was able to catch that shit. He was able to catch his ass with a right hook before he throws that big right hand. You see what I mean? See, Canelo has this bolo punch that he throws. So he kind of sets you up and then catch you where he wants you to set you up where he thinks you're going to do, and just ram a shot. Then he'll punch you hard as shit. But the thing is, if you can counter that punch, you can offset something. What in the world is McCauley eating? Dude, I don't know. Billy goats, armadillos, donkeys, humans, something. The big bastard. I'm sorry. Yeah, if Canelo doesn't increase his output, because Bud's gonna fight him too. Bud's not gonna do what you think he's gonna do. Bud is just as big, and as Bud's punches hurt Canelo, he might stop Canelo. And I've said it first. We say this shit. Nah, I ain't gonna beat Canelo. We said the same shit about Errol Spence. The same Errol Spence, Errol-sexuals, they called them, said the same shit. Bud's too small, he's too lanky, he's too small. He won't be able to do what he said he's going to do. And guess what? He did it and beat the shit out of Errol Spence. So on that, people, that's my counter punch from the night. This is volume 1. Volume 2 of Reflections is coming tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It will be much earlier, about maybe 2 p.m. after I get all my videos out, of course. You guys, please come in. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up on the surprise live stream last night in a struggled, challenging situation, but we still got it done for the community. You guys, love you all. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday, and I will see you Monday. And everybody has been counterpunched. Peace.